I don't want to sign anything. I want to wait and see what the insurance company says first. Have you heard this objection? Because I can't believe I haven't covered this one yet, and it came in due to a YouTube comment saying, Adam, can you help me out here? When I have the objection, I want to wait and see what my insurance company says first. How do I overcome that to get the deal on the spot? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to cover in this video. First, we're going to break down why it's happening, and then I'm going to teach you the path forward so it doesn't happen to you. If you liked this video and you want more, you want to arm your team with this information so they can learn how to overcome these objections effectively right there on the spot, but most importantly, how to keep them from coming up by presenting the right way, specifically how to transition to that contingency agreement, the 3 key points they need to hit in that contingency agreement, and how to drive the value so the homeowner says, actually, that's really beneficial to me. So if you'd like that for you or the team, text the word demo to 303-222-7133, and we will show you exactly how we can help turn your team into confident closers in 30 days or less, or we buy it back from you. That's 303-222-7133. And before we get to it, welcome or welcome back. My name's Adam Bensman, the Roof Strategist. I'm guessing you've tuned in, and if not, I'm excited to have you here. Everything that I do on my channel and the program I mentioned is designed to help you and your team smash your income goal and give every customer an amazing experience. So without further ado, let's jump right into tackling this objection. First things first, this objection comes up generally due to poor communication early on. I don't mean to insult anybody. I've made these mistakes. I've gone down this road. I've tried the handshake deal. In fact, I've done the whole handshake deal, can't get a contingency agreement signed, so then I start resisting signing it. I shift to the handshake deal, and I had a guy who gave me his word that we'd work together, wouldn't sign it. I get to his house for the adjuster appointment. The adjuster's not 1, 2 hours late. It's 95 degrees out. I'm roasting my butt off in my truck in Wisconsin summer. He gets here. He lumbers out of his truck so large he couldn't use the ladder. So he hands me his camera, hands me his chalk. I grab them and I look at him like I just won the lottery, because it was the first time I'd ever been in charge of this. And I was like, it's happening. Wow. I hop up on the roof, document that damage, chalk everything up, come down, hand it to him. He opens them up, cycles through those pictures, and he's like, we got it. I'll be paying for the roof. So with joy and excitement, I run right up to that door, that homeowner, wrap my knuckles on it, and he answers, and I go to share the news, and I say, I have great news for you. We just got your roof approved, and the adjuster's writing up the scope. As soon as we get it, we can move on to picking colors and having the fun get started. And I was so joyous. And then he looks at me stone-faced after that handshake deal. He goes, great, now give me your estimate. And he slammed the door right in my face. And in that moment, I learned that I never provided the value, and I never solved the problem of why he didn't sign the contingency agreement in the first place, and it came back to bite me in the hinder. I wasted hours and hours of time to hand him a whole bunch of money that ended up going in another contractor's pocket who is willing to do it for pretty darn cheap. So what I want to break down to you is why this is happening and then how you can prevent this from happening moving forward. First, let's hit why. Hey, we want to wait and see what our insurance company says. We need to come to terms with the fact that when the homeowner tells us an objection or states an objection, it does not mean what they say. Meaning, the words can't be taken at face value. You have to look deeper. So if we think about it, the homeowner likely trusts us enough because we've identified some damage and helped them become aware of a problem that they generally were not aware of. So therefore, there's a level of trust. I trust in what I've seen. But the missing link is the need. Meaning they don't need you anymore. You came in, you're like, hey, you got damage, it'll be covered. They're like, okay, cool, thanks for the help. And the homeowner, when we put ourselves in their shoes and begin to think like them, is what they're thinking. This guy, Adam, came out, who's a roofer, showed me that my roof's damaged. I kind of trust him. He told me it'd be covered by the insurance. So what I'm going to do is file a claim. I'm going to get my insurance company out and see. And then if it gets covered, I'm going to shop around and see, hey, you know what? Someone might be able to do this cheaper. I could save some money. I want to make sure I'm getting a fair price, fair value, not overpaying. I don't even know if I have to pay my deductible. And would you agree that that is the exact dialogue that's running through your customer's mind? That is exactly it. I don't need you anymore. You showed me something. I'm going to call it in. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to try to get it cheaper. What we need to do when we present is tackle all of that early and powerfully and often, so the homeowner sees the need to use us, that we become an integral part of their team through the process of working with, not against, with the insurance carrier to get the damage documented, covered appropriately, and facilitate the install. And we do that throughout the presentation, which I teach the entire thing, by the way, in my training center. There's a link in the description to the roofing sales success formula, both for owners or for individual reps. If you're an owner with a team, there's a whole lot more in there for you, including individual logins. So again, text demo to 303-222-7133 or check the link in the description. Demo 303-222-7133. So let's get into the root cause. Why does this come up? This comes up, I want to wait and see what the insurance company says, because they don't see a need for your service. It is truly that simple. So what is the cure? How do we keep this from coming up? We present our value and how we work with the homeowner in a way where they need us, where we become true valuable partners to the homeowner. In fact, when we do this the right way, the homeowner kind of changes their mind about this whole contingency agreement. That was a lunch hiccup. My apologies. And they say, you know what? Actually, I see how this could really help me. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this together. And it changes from a me to a we. And I love that transformation. So how do we do it? Now I'm going to give you the long version. I'm going to touch on a lot of key points. And I have to put out this one disclaimer. I've had people tell me, whether it's in-person trainings or on video, they're like, Adam, it's way too long-winded. And I look back and I say, I know, man, I'm doing this by design. And the reason is simple. If I teach you this much, you're going to retain this much. And by the time you go to use it, you're going to use this much. So if I teach you this much, which is what you need, you're going to retain this much and use this much. And by the way, if you're tuning in the podcast, you're seeing a shrinking window. That's what you're seeing, a shrinking window. So I want to give you this wide breadth of knowledge in this video of all these different angles of attack so you can pick and choose, hey, I really like this piece he used, or my homeowner really needs to hear this, but not that. And you can assemble it. Is that fair? Okay. So here's the key points. Number one, we need to create the need for your services. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I want to plant the seed so you can see what's coming in the little mock presentation I'm going to do. Number two, we need to showcase the value, meaning tying our services to a dollar amount so they think and feel that there's true value, because there is. We don't work for free. Okay? So we have to present this whole thing to say, hey, we're serving you, we don't bill for it. The third thing we need to do is disarm the homeowner to basically say, you just need to choose someone, even if it's not me, to drive the need for the decision. If you're in the house and they like you, they trust you, you've created a strong enough need, you're going to win the business as the solution. So those are the three key points, okay? Create the need, sell the value, and disarm them so they say, hey, you're my guy or my gal. All right? Here's how we do it. Mr. Homeowner, listen, I understand that you may want to keep me at arm's length. You don't know me that well, and you say, hey, if this thing's true and it's as easy as it sounds, I'm just going to get the insurance company to come on out, and then I'm going to see what they say, and then likely I'll take a look at their number and shop around and see, can I get someone to do it cheaper? Can I save some money and maybe even pocket some money? And by the way, you'll notice I told the homeowner what they're thinking. That's what they're thinking. There's no harm in that, because if you're wrong, they'll just correct you. It's great. It's called elicitation, by the way, that technique. All right, so now that I've kind of laid that groundwork, now I can overcome the objection. And I'm going to start with this. Now, Mr. Homeowner, I respect you playing your cards close, but I do want to serve you the best way I can. So I want to remove myself for a second, okay? Whether it's me or someone else, I highly recommend that you have an insurance restoration contractor who specializes in these type of roof replacements or repairs to be here with the adjuster. There's a few simple facts. Number one, 4 eyes are a lot better than 2 eyes. In fact, about 97% of the roofs that we replace under a storm damage claim, whether it be hail, wind, or hurricane, we end up documenting items that the insurance carrier missed on the first assessment. Now, this may not mean that the insurance company was trying to stiff you or shortchange you. It just means that they're out here once. And they're not necessarily roofing contractors, they're insurance adjusters. But our position here as an insurance restoration specialist or a storm damage specialist means that we have expertise not only in the roofing side, becoming incredibly adept roofers with fantastic crews, but we understand the subtle nuances of dealing with roof damage caused by hail, wind, or hurricane. So this damage can be documented appropriately, factoring in the manufacturer's recommended installation or required installation paired with building code. And similar to like your car, if you had to replace your transmission, someone who doesn't know what they're doing might just say like, well, just here's $3,000 for the transmission. And then you go to a body shop or a mechanic and they say, hey, well, to get to the transmission, we got to undo the motor mounts, pull the whole engine out, which means all the coolant oil is going to go. We got to do new gaskets, get the engine back in. So there's all these other pieces that fit in, and roofing is just like that. Okay, so again, what we're trying to do is create that need. Now we get into the value. So with someone like me there, you have a higher chance and a higher likelihood of getting this assessed for properly from the beginning. Now, the next thing, Mr. Homeowner, one of the values that we provide the folks that we serve is we do not bill you for the time, energy, and expertise to support you through this process. Meaning, me being here now, I'm going to be there before the adjuster, with the adjuster. Our team will be there during the install and even afterwards to document things that come up. And in fact, I had one project where a homeowner had an additional $8,000 worth of unforeseen damage, meaning rotted decking that needed to get replaced. Excuse me, not rotted, decking that needed to get replaced due to a wood shake shingles underneath. We ended up getting it covered, all of it, with the exception of his deductible, saved him $8,000. So what we do when I'm there for you is to support you through this process so there's no financial surprises. And again, Mr. Homeowner, we do not bill you for those services. The only way we get compensated is by becoming the contractor of choice to actually do the work. And then the third thing is, Mr. Homeowner, now, whether it's me or someone else, I highly recommend that you have someone there to support you for another set of eyes who understands the process. So now that you've heard all that, how do you feel about revisiting having me participate with the insurance adjuster to get you the most favorable outcome possible? And there you have it, those 3 angles of attack. There's a million different ways to spin it, and I'd love to hear from you because you, my friend, may have a brilliant idea to share with our community. So drop a comment below and let us know. And again, in summary, the 3 key points is to create the need of why you need to be there and the value you provide. 2, share the value and tie it to a monetary amount, meaning we don't bill you for my time or our team's time to support you through this process, whether it's documenting things, submitting the right evidence if there's stuff that was missed, supporting proper documentation for code items or manufacturer spec, all this stuff we do on your behalf that we don't bill you for. The third one is disarming them, saying whether it's me or someone else, you need someone there. And that again kind of circles back to creating that need. And when you're the right person there and you close with, and how would you feel about revisiting having me there? Now we're back in the fight, so to speak, or back in the conversation with the potential to earn the business. So if I missed anything, or there's things you do that you think I should have shared, drop a comment below. Now listen, if you're someone who wants more and you say, hey, listen, I need to arm myself or I need to arm my team with ways to overcome these objections on the spot, elegantly, without skipping a beat, without having that cat get their tongue. And if you're someone that needs help or wants your team to get help, presenting the contingency agreement, positioning your company as an authority so they want to work with you, then I highly recommend you get your hands on my all-in-one sales training and sales system called the Roofing Sales Success Formula. You can get instant access on this page, and just know it is a one-time only investment backed by my 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not satisfied for any reason, I will buy it back from you. And you can text the word demo for a demo to 303-222-7133. That's demo to 303-222-7133. Now listen, just because your and my time is about to wrap up doesn't mean that it needs to. So if you haven't done it and you haven't jumped into our brand new free training center, my recommended reading list, 10 closing techniques for every situation, my Pitch Like a Pro roofing sales training video library, my roof claims crash course, and more, click right here to hop in or hang with me on YouTube and jump right into this video, and I will see you on the next one.